Welcome to Sock Talk.
Where the biggest mysteries hide in plain sight. Alex, we're going deep today on two events that make absolutely no sense.
Oh, great. What are we solving this time?
The Tunguska event and the Bloop. And before you roll your eyes, these aren't just weird stories, they're connected.
Connected how exactly?
Both involve forces so powerful they defy explanation, and both happened in the most remote places on Earth where nobody was supposed to be watching. June 30th, 1908, middle of nowhere, Siberia. Something exploded with the force of 1,000 atomic bombs. The blast flattened 2,000 square kilometers of forest. That's bigger than London. Trees were snapped like toothpicks for miles in every direction.
Okay, but that could just be a meteor impact. Space rocks hit Earth all the time.
That's what I thought too. But here's the thing, no crater, none. Scientists searched for decades and found absolutely nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
I mean, if something powerful enough to level half a country hits the ground, there should be a hole, a big one, but the ground was completely intact.
Wait, so something exploded with nuclear force but never actually made impact?
Exactly. Like it detonated in midair on purpose.
Or it was an airburst. Meteors can explode in the atmosphere when they heat up too fast. The Chelyabinsk meteor did the same thing in 2013.
But Chelyabinsk left fragments everywhere. Tunguska, they found trace amounts of weird metals, but nothing that matched any known meteorite composition.
Look, absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. Maybe the fragments just scattered too widely, or the explosion vaporized most of the material.
Except the explosion height was calculated at exactly 510 kilometers above ground. That's the optimal altitude for maximum ground damage while leaving no physical evidence.
That sounds like you're working backwards from the conclusion you want.
Here's what I can't get past. Similar atmospheric explosions create distinctive shockwave patterns. Tunguska's pattern was completely wrong for a natural airburst.
Okay, that's actually strange.
And get this, eyewitnesses 400 miles away saw a column of light brighter than the sun. The shockwave knocked people off their feet in villages they didn't even know existed.
400 miles?
The blast was so intense, it registered on seismic equipment across Europe. But here's what really gets me. Some witnesses described seeing the object change direction before it exploded.
Objects don't change direction, Riley. That's physics.
Unless they're controlled, what if something was deliberately destroyed before it could reach the ground?
Now you've lost me completely.
Okay, fast forward to 1997, Pacific Ocean, middle of absolutely nowhere. NOAA's underwater listening stations pick up a sound.
What kind of sound?
The loudest biological sounding noise ever recorded. They called it the bloop because of how it sounded when they sped up the audio. But Alex, this thing was massive.
Define massive.
The sound was detected 3,000 miles away. For perspective, a blue whale, the loudest animal we know, can only be heard about 500 miles away under perfect conditions.
So something 6 times louder than the biggest animal on Earth.
And it came from one of the deepest parts of the Pacific. We're talking about ocean depths we barely explored, where the pressure would crush anything we know about instantly.
Okay, but that could just be geological. Underwater landslides, ice breaking, tectonic.
That's what NOAA said. They eventually claimed it was ice calving off Antarctica. But Alex, the sound had biological characteristics.
What do you mean biological?
It had frequency modulation patterns, like something was making it intentionally, not just random noise from ice breaking.
Ice can create all sorts of weird acoustic effects when it shifts. You're reading intention into random geological noise.
Except ice calving creates sharp cracking sounds. The bloop had a consistent 7-second duration with a specific frequency sweep from 50 hertz down to 25 hertz.
That could still be natural. Maybe some unique underwater formation creating resonance.
Then why haven't we recorded anything like it before or since? NOAA's been monitoring those waters for decades.
You're suggesting there's some giant creature down there we don't know about?
I'm saying we've explored less than 5% of our oceans. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the deep Pacific.
That's actually true.
And here's the creepy part. The bloop was recorded multiple times over several months, always from the same general area. Then it just stopped.
Stopped?
Completely. Like whatever made it either left or went silent. So here's what I think is happening. Both events occurred in the most isolated places on Earth where human observation would be minimal.
That's just selection bias, Riley. Remote places seem mysterious because nobody's around to explain what.
Both involved forces beyond anything in our normal experience, and both left evidence that doesn't match the official explanations.
Look, you're cherry-picking data points and forcing connections. These events are a century apart, completely different phenomena in different elements.
But what if the time gap is intentional? What if monitoring systems only activate when there's an actual threat to neutralize?
Monitoring systems? Now you're just making stuff up.
Am I? Both locations are near major tectonic activity. Siberia sits on massive mineral deposits, and that Pacific region is right above the deepest oceanic trenches.
Okay, but what's the connection? A century apart, completely different phenomena.
What if they're monitoring events? Tunguska could have been something dangerous being intercepted before it reached the surface, and the bloop could be some kind of response signal.
Response signal to what?
To let whoever stopped the Tunguska object know the job was done. Think about it. 1908, something gets destroyed in the most remote part of Russia. 1997, something in the deepest part of the Pacific sends out a massive signal.
That's completely speculative.
Is it? We're talking about events that our best scientists still can't properly explain after decades of study.
But jumping to coordinated monitoring systems,
Alex, what if Earth has protection we don't know about? Something that intercepts genuine threats before they reach us, and something else that confirms the intercept worked.
you're talking about some kind of planetary defense system?
I'm talking about the possibility that we're not as alone or unprotected as we think, and maybe sometimes, just sometimes, we get to hear the evidence.
I hate that this is starting to make a weird kind of sense.
The scariest part? Both phenomena stopped being detectable right after scientists started paying serious attention to them.
Okay, I'm a little worried now. So we've got an explosion with no source and a sound with no explanation, both in places where nobody was supposed to be listening.
Makes you wonder what else is happening in the places we're definitely not watching.
If you're lying awake tonight, wondering the same thing, we did our job.
Drop your theories in the comments. It's one of the few places they're not monitoring yet.
You found us for a reason. Don't lose us now.